Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the regular council meeting, City of Gulf Shores, September the 22nd, 2025. I'll call the meeting to order and ask Pastor Jim Kinder from the Orange Beach Church to lead us with the invocation. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Would you join me in prayer, please? Heavenly Father, we gather tonight as neighbors and stewards of this beautiful community of Gulf Shores that we are blessed to call home. Thank you for the people who make this place special and for the natural beauty that surrounds us and for the opportunities you've given us to grow. Father, today we recognize that leadership is both a responsibility and a calling, and we thank you for those who have answered that call. We ask now for unity and wisdom in our council members and community leaders as they guide us through a season of growth. May they make decisions that serve not just today, but generations to come. Bless our residents, businesses, and those who protect and serve our city. Help us to work together with grace and humility, respect, even when opinions may differ. May this meeting and every choice made tonight reflect integrity and compassion and a shared desire for the common good. We entrust our city into your hands, confident that with your guidance, Gulf Shores will continue to be the place where communities thrive and families flourish, and your blessings are evident. We pray this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Toby, you call roll, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Garris?
Here.
Mr. Sinek?
Here.
Mr. Harris?
Here.
Dr. Dyken?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mayor Kraft?
Here. Thank you, Toby.
Yes, sir.
First item on the agenda tonight is approval of minutes. We have two sets to consider tonight. The first was the September the 8th minutes from the regular council meeting.
Motion to approve September 8th, 2025 regular council meeting.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion or comment? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Those minutes are approved. The second set to approve tonight is the minutes from the council work session meeting of September the 15th.
Move for approval of the minutes of the September 15th council work session meeting.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain. One abstention duly noted. Mr. Sinek. Those minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is approval of expense vouchers in the amount of $1,050,123.94. Anna?
Yes,
That's a good number, by the way.
well, I believe those were the intercity transfers. So the transfer or the expenses that actually left the city's coffers were just under $12,265,000, but I have explanations. 2.66 million of that was for debt service payments, of which 1 million was in advance principal pay down on our line of credit. Capital projects totaled just under $9 million, the largest ticket item being the high school construction coming in at $7 million. To be followed by the Justice Center, which was just at $1.5 million. We had around $100,000 for some LED lights for the Gulf Place beachfront area. That was all of our capital purchases. And when you subtract all of those from the total, our biweekly operations totaled just over $528,000.
Thank you. Any council, any questions for Anna?
Move for approval of expense vouchers as stated. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve these expense vouchers as presented. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those vouchers are approved. Next item. Lindsay, you got a good-looking group here. Tell us about them. Introduce them.
Good afternoon, Toby, Mayor and Council. I just have to say I love my job because I get to be part of some really cool programs that the City of Gulf Shores is doing, and Junior City Council is a clear example of that. And this group of young people today is the 2025-2026 Junior City Council. It's my pleasure to introduce them to you tonight. And now, in the second year of this program, it continues to provide high school students with hands-on opportunity to learn about local government, develop leadership skills, and serve their community. Last year they did a spring market. I'm sure some of you remember, and we're excited to continue that tradition this year as well. So this year we're proud to welcome 17 members. Our council has grown by 5 members this year, so that's great too. The members are Graham Archer, Isis Eberly, Jameson Lehman Ferguson, Satchel Cornegay, Amelia Koziuk, Maddie Madison, Carson McKee, Norma Malone, Trey Moore, Ray Pepperman, Kayla Rose, Ellis Sanders, Haven Spruill, Graham Stewart, Anna Vo, Amelie Walker, and Justice Wright. So these students were selected for their leadership, communication skills, and commitment to making a difference in their community. So we're excited for a great year. We're excited for the energy they're going to bring to the market and other community projects. And welcome to Junior City Council. So we're going to take a picture, and we'd love to invite Dr. Harrison, Dr. Aiken, and Kevin Corcoran to come up and be a part of the picture.
Lindsay?
I'm sorry.
Lindsay?
Yeah.
Are we supposed to get out of here and they're supposed to come up here?
No. I want you in the picture. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Kind of hoping they
invited
take
me.
charge.
Selling my name. I'm sorry. Y'all come on up here. Yeah. And our teachers, Ashley Watley and Owen Corcoran are our teacher advisors as well. So y'all were good like you like.
They got to scooch up pretty good.
Someone else take that.
Let's go. Yeah, okay. Yay.
Welcome, kids. Great idea. Thank y'all for joining us, and I hope you'll learn a lot. The good news about this class, there won't be an exit exam, at least as of now. Toby's got some tricks up her sleeve. She may be working on something. But again, congratulations. We hope that you really enjoy it. Next item on the agenda, we have 3 assembly permits to consider tonight. Grant?
Yes, good afternoon. Congratulations, Junior City Council. Luck to you. So the first application we reviewed last Monday, there are no changes to this particular application. This is for the 52nd Annual National Shrimp Festival, October the 9th through the 12th. Just briefly going through the timelines, the tent installations, et cetera, will begin on Sunday, October 5th. On Monday, October 6th, the Golf Place area will be closed for setup. That includes the parking lot in front of the hangout and also the West Golf Place area. And then throughout the week, the build will occur until the event starts on Thursday, October 9th. On Thursday, October 9th, the resident parking lot, which is just to the east of Phoenix All Suites, will turn into parking for sponsors, VIP, and also the bus turnaround for the shuttle service. And then after the festival closes on 5 p.m. on Sunday evening, Monday afternoon-ish, the traffic will flow back to normal in the Golf Place, 182 Highway 59 area. Before you on the screen, once again, entry points are being controlled with the chamber to do a better job of trying to understand the volume of participants and to be able to control entry into different points throughout the festival. You'll see in red is the west stage near the town green. On the east side is the east stage, and then the other north entry point on Highway 59 and 182, and then 2 entry points from the east, 182, and also up there by the Pink Pony and Phoenix All Suites. The shuttle transportation being provided by Gulf Shore City Schools, $6. No cash, must be a debit or only by debit or credit card. And you'll see the locations for Gulf Shores is Pelican Place, Waterway Village parking lot, which is a change as noted by Councilman Jones, where the Civic Center has been used. This year is being used at the Waterway Village parking lot directly south of Acme in the Waterway Village. Waves Grocery Store to the west, Lake Shelby at Gulf State Park, and then in Orange Beach, Rouse's parking lot. Those are the shuttle locations. All the staff from the different departments have reviewed the application, and it is recommended for your approval. We are still waiting on a couple of the certificates of liability and liquor license, which will be forthcoming, but we are recommending approval with those conditions. Be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Grant. Council, any questions for Grant on this application?
Move for
Action.
the approval of the public assembly permit for the 52nd National Shrimp Festival.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve this permit application as submitted. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain?
One abstention duly noted. Mr. Jones,
Thank you.
this assembly permit is approved. Grant, next.
Yes, sir. The next application is for the Skippin' and Sippin' Meeting of the Minds 5K and Fun Run, which takes place in and around Lulu's over near the airport. Excuse me, on Saturday, October 25th from 7 a.m. till noon. We did speak last Monday about the route, which the original proposed route does go near the construction area of the pedestrian bridge on the north side. So this is the revised route that still is the same distance. You'll note that it heads north from Lulu's up to Bon Secours. I'm not sure what that avenue is that goes across. And then it goes down over to Waterway East Boulevard and then loops near and around the airport. So it's a similar route, just gets it away from the construction area. The other concern we had is potentially the conflict with commercial air service and people getting to and from the airport. I was able to confirm with Jesse that there is no commercial air service scheduled for that particular day, so there will not be a conflict with people getting to and from the terminal. So with that, the recommendation is to approve the application with those caveats that we discussed last Monday. No scheduled commercial flights are taking place on the 25th, and this revised route is the one that's being used. Glad to answer your questions.
Thanks, Grant. Council, any questions on this application?
Motion approved the public assembly permit for the Skipping and Sipping 5K Fun Run.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve this application as presented. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That application is approved. Grant, one more?
Yes, sir. This is an application for the Gulf Shores Middle School Dolphin Dash 5K and Fun Run, scheduled to take place on October the 15th of 2025. 8:30 in the morning will be the fun run. 9 o'clock is the 5K. Its starting and finish area is the town green at Gulf Place. Before you is a map. If you look on the far right of the map where it says P1, that's the start finish line. Participants will travel west to West Lagoon Avenue and then circle west to 11th Street, south on 11th Street. Sorry. November. I have a wrong date, don't I? Okay, thank you. I'll change my slide. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. So the travel west on West Lagoon Avenue over to 11th Street south to Beach Highway and then back to the town green. So as Toby pointed out, when I was putting my slides together, I copied and pasted the wrong month. So this is the Gulf Shores Middle School Dolphin Dash November 15th. So if you would please make the motion to approve the application for November 15th, Gulf Shores Middle School Dolphin Dash. And I apologize for the date incorrection.
Thank you, Grant. Council, any questions for Grant on this application?
I'll move for the approval of public assembly permit for the Gulf Shores Middle School Dolphin Dash.
November 16th.
15th.
With the
November
date
15th.
As
correct.
amended.
Yeah, corrected date.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That permit is approved. Thank you, Grant.
Thank you. Toby, thank you. I apologize for making that error.
Next item on the agenda is ordinance 2173. This is to amend the Code of Ordinances in Waterway Village Overlay District parking. Scott?
Good afternoon. This zoning text amendment was first introduced at the Committee of the Whole and Council work session at your August 18th meeting. As a quick reminder, the kind of the purpose of the Waterway Village is to create a neighborhood center for the residents and the community to dine, shop, play, and I'll add worship and recreate. So, and part of that is to provide adequate parking and pedestrian facilities, which is the purpose of this proposed zoning text amendment. In the language or proposed language changes, one of them is to allow for a local parking demand study, I will point out this does say may, so this is a permissive, not required for different proposed developments, but it increases the kind of search radius, if you will, from 750 feet to 1,320 feet, which is a quarter mile. And it also requires that a qualified professional perform that study. The next proposed change includes allowing on-street parking within 200 feet of the proposed development to count that for the required parking. And this section also spells out the requirements for that parking. So it has to be paid, it has to be easily accessible, and it cannot create any conflicts with the fire code. This is the public parking credit section. So I guess I should have said this at the beginning. All the black letter words are what's in the current ordinance. The bold red are the proposed changes. So for the public parking credits, this again increases that search radius from 750 feet to 1,320 quarter mile, and includes the language to allow public parking within public rights of way, as well as public parking facilities. Namely is going to be the one there at East 24th Avenue and Gulf Avenue. Lastly, this section defines where and how money from the public parking credits, where it goes and how it may be spent. So it creates an account or a fund, and those dollars can be used for land acquisition, design fees, design costs, and construction costs, but specifically not maintenance costs. It also points out that public parking credit development may purchase the credit, but they're not purchasing individual spaces, so they can't put their name on a spot. This is just a visual to kind of show what the increase from 750 feet to the quarter mile is. So the blue is the 750 measured from the public parking facility there on East 24th and Gulf Avenue. And then that pink color is the increased radius out to the quarter mile. So it does pick up a lot more properties, a lot more possibilities. Just as a quick reminder, we are in the midst of a overall parking study for the Waterway Village District. This QR code and URL on the next page, but I just want to remind everyone that that survey is underway. So if you've not done the survey, please take the time to scan that QR code if you're online or here, or visit that URL. If you've not done it yet, it's open until the 30th of September, so please participate. That survey is open for everyone who eats or goes to church or lives or shops or pretty much drives through Waterway Village. So we really want to hear from everyone in the community that we can, and that's residents, visitors, people who don't live here. So again, take the time, please, that really helps us out. The Planning Commission held their own public hearing and considered this at the July 22nd meeting. Staff recommended approval. And now that report here is before the council, and a public hearing is required for this. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Scott, thank you. Council, any questions before we go to the public hearing?
Yeah, what's the estimated number of public parking spaces that are going to be built when this is all done?
Well, this particular ordinance won't be adding any parking. Now, the city, of course, has plans. They're looking at design plans for up and down East 2nd, and there'll be some more parking with the pedestrian bridge. But this ordinance is just really about changing how and where parking can be counted for new developments and existing developments potentially.
Yeah, but eventually, if more and more businesses go in there and they all want to claim, the public parking, if there's not enough planned, it's going to run out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and that'll be part of our job to keep track of that. And that's kind of why I pointed out the may language.
In the long-term goal, is that figured in? I mean, has that been looked at?
Yes, sir. We'll consider that as it comes in. Yes, sir. And we'll report that because most of these will require council approval. So we'll certainly keep up with kind of that tally, and then we'll report that prior to the council making a decision.
Anybody else on the council, any questions? This is a public hearing. Anyone with any questions or comments related to this ordinance, it's your time to raise your hand and step to the microphone.
Move that we suspend rules of procedure that we may consider this ordinance.
Second.
A motion and a second to suspend the rules. Toby?
Mr. Garris.
Aye.
Mr. Sinek.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
Dr. Dyken.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Mayor Kraft.
Aye. The rules are suspended. We're free to consider ordinance 2173.
Motion to consider ordinance 2173 as written.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Toby?
Mr. Garris.
Aye.
Mr. Sinek.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Abstain.
Noted. Dr. Dyken.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Mayor Kraft.
Aye. Ordinance 2173 is approved and adopted. Thanks, Scott. Although you can't leave, you got one more.
Yes, sir. This next one is a zoning amendment as well. It was introduced at your work session on August 4th. So the maps on the screen to the left is the aerial photos showing the subject properties. They're right there in the center of the screen. They're the 6 parcels that are on the south end of the village at Bon Secours, that kind of front on the canal. As you can see, or maybe you can see on the image, there's 6 of them. 5 are undeveloped, and 1 does have a single-family house currently on it. The map on the right is the zoning map for the area. The subject properties are, again, highlighted in blue, zoned R2 currently. That kind of lighter color is the PUD for the rest of the neighborhood. Like I just said, the majority, or 5 of the lots, are currently undeveloped. That upper left picture is the 1 lot of the 6 that has a single-family home on it. This neighborhood was developed, or at least platted in 2005, and these were part of it at the time. They were taken out in 2012, and then July 4th of this year, the applicant approached the Planning Commission to amend the PUD to bring these back into the PUD. Again, this is an existing zoning map. The subject properties are there in the bottom center. They're R2, so R2 will allow single-family residential as well as duplex, or 2-family residential. The future land use plan does indicate this to be residential medium density, and the proposal would fit along with the land use plan. The applicant, they approached the city. Actually, it's the HOA is the applicant on behalf of the individual property owners. The desire is to bring them into the PUD and actually to limit the property to being single-family residential only. So to remove that duplex allowance, if you will. Part of the conditions that we are proposing are to allow the individual lots to subdivide one time in the future to create 2 lots if they so desire. So today there's 6 lots. They could build duplexes, so in theory there could be 12 dwelling units on this property. With this proposed change, there will be no net increase possible in density. That if they all subdivided and built a single family, that would be 12 single family units. With all that said, one of those is already taken out of that consideration because it has a single family house built on it now. And I may just explain all that on this slide. I did. So again, as you can see on this slide, these 6 lots are larger than the typical lot in the rest of the neighborhood. So they did want to preserve the ability to subdivide into 2 lots, 1 to 2. But like I said, that lot 22 right there in the middle already has a single family. That takes up the whole thing. It really couldn't be subdivided further. Staff recommended this, and as well as the Planning Commission after their public hearing, with the condition that the plat be re-recorded with a note that restricts those to 1 future subdivision from 1 lot into 2 lots. And this is a zoning amendment, so it'll require a public hearing as well. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Will you still allow a duplex to be built there?
After this change, no duplex would be allowed. So
I thought that
I
was
guess I should.
their request was not to have duplexes in that we're not allowing duplexes.
Correct, yes, sir.
That, I just didn't understand it from there. So that's the only question I have. Any other council?
Scott, is there a minimum lot size on the subdivide? Or is that governed by the existing PUD?
It will be governed by the existing PUD, and we were hesitant to put a number on that, but yeah, the PUD will still have minimum lot size setback, so they'll be a little bit self-regulated anyway, but yes, sir.
Any other questions, council? Public hearing. Anybody? Anything?
Move that we suspend rules of procedure that we may consider this ordinance.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to consider the rules. Toby?
Mr. Garris. Mr. Sinek.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
Dr. Dyken.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Mayor Kraft.
Aye. The rules are suspended. We're free to consider ordinance 2174.
I move for the adoption of ordinance 2174 as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance as presented. Toby?
Mr. Garris. Mr. Sinek.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
Dr. Dyken.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Mayor Kraft.
Aye. Ordinance 2174 is approved and adopted. Thank you, Scott. Toby, we have a ABC license application.
Yes, sir, we have two. The first one is from Lulu's. It's Lulu's Grab and Go. They are in the airport and they are applying for a retail off-premise only beer and retail table wine off-premise only. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
We're going to do these individually?
Yes, sir.
So any questions, council, on Lulu's Grab and Go?
Motion to adopt license application for Lulu's Grab and Go.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve this application as presented. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. Now, this was also a public hearing. Sorry about that. Did anyone have any questions or comments from the public that we need to reconsider and vote again? If not, thank you. Then this application is approved.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, Toby, next.
The next one I have is El Rey Mexican Restaurant LLC, doing business as El Rey Mexican Restaurant. They are located in the little strip mall by Rouse's. I believe it was the former Tequila's location right there. And I'll be happy to answer any questions. They are applying for a transfer of a retail liquor license.
Thank you, Toby. Any questions for Toby on this license application? Any action?
This also
Hearing?
public hearing?
This
Yes,
is
sir.
also public hearing. Anybody? Thank you, Jeff. Gary? Anybody with any comments publicly, please let me know before I forget again. Hearing none?
Move for,
Go ahead.
move for approval of the restaurant retail liquor license transfer for El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt this or approve this restaurant application as presented. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That application is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toby.
Yes, sir.
Clint, resolution 7030.
Yes, this is the Volkert proposal for the engineering services for the Highway 59 widening Phase 2 project, the A-Trip 2 section of that. And that's in an amount not to exceed $118,213. And no changes from last week. Be glad to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Clint. Council, any questions?
Clint, I had a couple phone calls when they saw this, and heard it last week. This has no interference with the project on County Road 6 intersection. Is that correct?
That's correct. This is stopping at the entrance to the shopping center there where Allen Wing Company and the Staybridge Suites, that stuff is. And so then the County Road 6 project is going to go from that point to the intersection.
Right.
Any other questions?
Move for adoption of resolution 7030 and waive its reading.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve and adopt this resolution as presented. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 7030 is approved and adopted. Next, we have Deputy Taylor.
Mayor, Council, good afternoon. There's no changes from the earlier presentation last week. This is just a memorandum of understanding to allow emergency services to hook into the Baldwin County interoperability communication system. And it's at a cost of $10 per unit. Total budgetary involvement is an amount not to exceed $45,000. And the police and fire do budget for this separately in an independent line item. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Council, any questions on Resolution 7031?
Motion to adopt Resolution 7031.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt this resolution as presented. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Deputy Chief. 7031 is approved and adopted. Toby, you've got Resolution 7032.
Yes, sir. I'm presenting for Kim McKenzie, Court Clerk. Before you is the 2026 proposed municipal court dates. And there's no changes from last week, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Toby.
Yes, sir.
Council, any questions?
Move for the adoption of Resolution 7032 as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 7032. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 7032 is approved and adopted. Cindy, you got Resolution 7033.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'll briefly cover the PowerPoint that I did last week on the amendment, and that way you can see the details. We're increasing the general fund revenues by $1,459,000 and the transfers by $10.4 million for collections in excess of budget and for transfers related to grant funds received. We're also increasing the general fund expense by $1,443,000 for various expenses and departments that you'll see in another slide. The transfers out were for the ecotourism and Waterway East grants that we received and an advance payoff of the line of credit of $5 million. You can see the additional revenues that we brought in: use tax $320,000, casual sales tax auto $130,000, the Gulf Shores utility equivalent of $63,000. Business licenses of $167,000, Baldwin license for Baldwin EMC, business license, $304,000, building permits $150,000, and miscellaneous revenue of $320,000 that was related to some developer funds received. And there's the transfers of $3.1 million for the ecotourism grant and $1.8 million for the Waterway East grant, and again, the advanced line of credit payment of $5.5 million. And then there's the list of the general fund expense increases. In executive, the professional services were for $90,000 for the Waterway Village parking study and $10,000 for the Fort Morgan speed study. HR workers' compensation was increased by $125,000 as a result of the most recent audit. The financial services, professional services increased by $4,400 for additional audit expense. And the maintenance software expense increased by $155,000, and that was for Public Works OpenGov software. IT hardware increased by $57,435 for NeoGov time clocks that were not originally budgeted. There's an adjustment in the police salaries of $240,000 for the lapse factor. We had more positions that were filled during the course of the year than anticipated. And then the fire salaries are related to and benefits are related to the new fire inspector. The RCA Sportsplex tournaments, we're bringing in $190,000 for the ACV volleyball championship. And in Public Works, Engineering and Consulting, we're bringing in $300,000 for the infrastructure study. $100,000 is for Public Works maintenance, additional repair, and facility cost. There you have our transfers going out. There's a transfer to the Storm Damage Fund of $12,750 and a transfer to the Debt Service Fund to repay the line of credit and for the grant funds and also the grant funds received. The impact fees were increasing by $34,875 for the fire vehicle storage facility and $56,828 for the remainder that was owed to Dix Height for the planning of the of a park. Again, we transferred from the general fund the $12,750 to update the city debris management plan in storm damage fund. And then on Fund 40, which is the non-taxable warrant funds, we brought in $229,500 to complete the Muscal lights and installation that started in 2024. Again, in debt service, we paid off the principal on the 2020D non-taxable warrant of $5.5 million, and we paid down $4,908,000 that we borrowed until the grant funds could be received. On the taxable line of credit, we brought in $30,000 for the Fort Morgan Road access management, and then we also transferred to the general funds the amounts that were received from the grant revenue that were borrowed until the money could be received. And in summary, there was $33 million additional in revenues, but again, that's transferring back and forth to various funds. The true increase was only $11 million, and the expense was $33,045,000. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Cindy. Council, any questions or comments? Any action?
Move for the approval of Resolution 7033 as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt this resolution as presented. Any discussion or comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This resolution 7033 is approved and adopted. Thank you, Cindy. That's a lot of work, and thank you for going over that again, just in case there was someone here that wasn't here last month. So thank you very much. Good job. Next item, Anna, you're back with us.
Yes, sir. We are simply requesting acceptance of the 2024 Independent Auditors Report, as well as the capital expenditure transfer in the amount of $8,158,221, which is consistent with our financial policy and represents all of the revenues above our 85% mark for the year ending 12/31/2024. Happy to answer any questions should you have them.
Thank you, Anna. That's resolution 7034.
Move for the adoption of Resolution 7034 and waive its reading.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt this resolution as presented. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Anna. 7034 is approved. You got an ordinance for us?
Yes, sir. This is the vapor products tax ordinance for consideration. There are no changes from last week. We are just simply recommending adopting our own ordinance and collecting our own vapor products tax in the amount of 10 cents per milliliter on all sales, both retail and wholesale, and 5 cents in the police jurisdiction, as well as an additional $150 license fee that would be added annually to the business licenses to help recover some of the expenses for regulating that industry. One last piece of information that I did find out since last Monday when we presented, after contacting the Alabama Department of Revenue, you would be able to repeal this ordinance down the road should you choose to do so if it became too overwhelming or, pardon the pun, taxing. But we would have to meet a few requirements with required paperwork, 60 days notice, et cetera. But just in case that is, a consideration for your decision.
Thank you, Anna. Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
Move to suspend rules of procedure that we may consider this ordinance.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. Toby?
Mr. Garris.
Aye.
Mr. Sinek.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
Dr. Dyken.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Mayor Kraft.
Aye. The rules are suspended. We're free to consider ordinance 2175 as presented.
Move for the adoption of Ordinance 2175 as presented and waive its reading.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to do just that. Toby, will you call roll?
Mr. Garris.
Aye.
Mr. Sinek.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
Dr. Dyken.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Nay.
Mayor Kraft.
Aye. Ordinance 2175 is approved and adopted. That concludes all of the new business for this evening. Are there any committee reports, council? And do you have any staff updates that anyone is prepared to give? Hearing of guests? City schools?
Yes, sir. Mayor and council, thank you. Want to remind everybody that this Friday evening is the Dolphin Foundation for Education and Arts Make Waves benefit, which is the major fundraiser. The Dolphin Foundation, if you don't know, has donated well over $500,000 so far to Gulf Shores City School System projects. There's a process where an educator makes a request, it goes through the principal and then the superintendent, and then is brought before the Dolphin Foundation. We've been very generous in being able to sponsor a lot of projects. Probably the most important is the National Board Certified Teacher Program, where the foundation actually pays the tuition for those teachers to go through that process tuition free. So we're grateful for that. So we encourage everybody. All the sponsorship tables sold out. There are still a handful of individual tickets. If you're interested in attending as an individual, you can visit thegsdf.org, which is the website for the Dolphin Foundation. With that said, we've now conducted 2 meetings at our new school board location in the Wave Center for Learning. A beautiful facility. We'll soon be having an open house that you can all attend. But in that meeting most recently, we honored Toby Waters, the interim secretary for Gulf Shores City School Board of Education. Interim meaning 6-7 years.
2017.
Yeah, since 2017, Toby served as secretary for the Board of Education and done it flawlessly. And we're grateful for that time that you allowed us to steal her services from you. But her last meeting was this past Thursday. And Toby, just wanted to publicly say thank you for all you've done for
You're
Board of
welcome.
Education.
Thank you for the
All
opportunity.
right. That's it.
Thank you. Anybody in the audience with anything they want to approach the council about? Any questions or comments? Hello.
Hi, I'm Laurie Eberly. This time I'm coming to ask for help from the whole neighborhood. Little Lagoon Preservation Society takes part in the oyster gardening program, and our oysters that we've been growing since the beginning of May are ready for harvest October 2nd. So Thursday, October 2nd, from 9 o'clock in the morning till about noon when we get done, we have to go to 50 different docks around the lagoon and gather up the oysters. We collect a lot of data. We have to measure and count a few and then load them into baskets, load them into a truck, drive them over. Then they're going to be picked up and planted in the restoration reef in Little Lagoon. It's a great project for the area. Lorenzo helped us one year, and Jennifer helped. It's hard work. You're going to get messy, but it's a wonderful thing. So if anybody is available Thursday, October 2nd, 9:30 to around noon, go to Little Lagoon Preservation Society page, and you can contact them or send me an email, lloystergardening@gmail.com. We need some workers. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Anyone else? I've got one thing that I want to read, and this is a response to comments that were made at the September 15th council work session meeting related to the recount. And we were questions about the machines arriving unsealed. They did arrive unsealed because they had not been publicly tested. Tammy Chance, the election coordinator for the Judge of Probate's office, conducted the machine testing after the machines arrived. The person witnessed the testing but opted not to participate. Blair Castro did test the machines, after which Ms. Chance zeroed out the machines, closed the tops, and sealed all 3 machines. The appointed poll officials approached the machines, broke the seals, and started the recount process. There was a question about rejected ballots. ES&S had advised the city clerk that data sticks that tabulate the ballots in the machines would be set to scrutinize the ballots more than at the general election. To expect any ballots that were undervoted, overvoted, bubbles not completely filled in would be rejected, resulting in these ballots to have to be counted by hand. This information given were all that were attendance in that morning meeting before the recount began. The handling of the ballots was questions towards the end of the recount process. To save time, Ms. Chance asked the candidates present, Mr. Berger, Ms. Castro, and the poll officials, if she and an appointed poll official, to save time, could separate the ballots that would be rejected and have to be hand counted from the others. All replied, of course. The only possible ballot tampering that occurred was by Mr. Berger himself, when he twice grabbed the rejected ballots, 2 at different machines, and then posted online how one was voted. Both times he was asked by the city clerk to stop and to remain in the observation area. This was also witnessed and reported in the news article later that evening by Ruth Mayo, Gulf Coast Media, who was in attendance at the recount. At the beginning of the morning, before the recount began, instructions were given to those in attendance, all were there, that no photos or videos would be allowed during the recount process. So it was, Toby I caught a lot of flack for that. I just thought it was important because During this election, I heard a lot of times, we get asked questions, we don't respond. We hear comments, we don't respond. We intend to do better. Things like this will not be left unanswered when they come up again. Yes, sir, Mr. Berger, you got something to say?
I was gonna talk about the vape tax.
Anything you want to.
The machines they were unsealed, nobody was there. I came in, nobody was, she was outside, Tammy Chance was outside in her truck, and nobody was there, so, you said Blair Castro had, tested them with them, she wasn't there yet. So, and as far as me touching the ballots, I did go up and I saw the first two ballots that came off the machine that were rejected, and I did touch one of them, and they said don't touch them. The second time, Tammy Chance asked us to come up, and because one of the ballots had gotten lodged in the machine and it counted, and she wanted to make sure that we saw that it was counted. And so we came up to make sure that the ballot was counted, and she was waving it in the air. She laid it down, and I reached over to touch it to see what was on it. And, then when Tammy Chance asked us if she could separate the ballots, she came over to Blair, and I couldn't hear what she was saying. And then I asked her to tell me what was she saying. She yelled at me. I mean, she looked and her eyes were watering. Oh man. And she yelled at me. I was like, sure. And as far as Ruth Mayo, she wasn't there for some of those parts. I don't know why she reported that. She must have heard that. But I was going to talk about my name is Lucas Berger. I'm a registered nurse, and I was chemotherapy certified with firsthand experience in patient care. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today regarding the small tax on vape products that's proposed. While I understand the goal of addressing public health concerns through such measures, I believe our city and state should prioritize bigger fish to fry in order to streamline operations, reduce unnecessary spending, and foster economic growth. You get taxed on what you earn, you get taxed on what you buy, you get taxed on what you own. Taxes, taxes, taxes. And then a bunch of the stuff that the taxes are spent on, you don't even agree with. That's why we need to reduce the size of government and let the people keep a lot more of their hard-earned money. Specifically, we could achieve greater efficiency by eliminating redundant entities like the Alabama Tourism Department, allowing us to get leaner and redirect resources more effectively. Moreover, I strongly advocate for federal action to deschedule cannabis. President Trump should dedicate even just an hour to this effort so that Alabama can integrate it into a robust jobs program. As someone who has seen the impacts of various treatments up close, I can attest that cannabis is safer than everyday medications like Tylenol and offers proven medical benefits, particularly for patients undergoing chemotherapy and managing chronic conditions. I urge the council to consider these broader opportunities for positive change that could benefit our community far more than incremental taxes on niche products. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to public input.
Thank you, Mr. Berger. Anyone else with anything? Thank you for being here. We will not be meeting next Monday. Next Monday is the 5th Monday of the month, so we won't be here next Monday. We'll be back the following Monday, which will be, I think, the 6th of October. So thank you for coming tonight. Is there a motion we adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
We stand adjourned.